beauty. So I have a client, she also has Mesmerized, which I'm wearing today. And she wanted to know how she can heat style and different ways that she can put her up. So some basic things that you're gonna need. If you have a canvas blockhead, great. If you don't and you have this little styrofoam one, you can do that too. I recommend getting some T-pins. You can pick them up just about anywhere, even at like Hobby Lobby, but if you don't and you're in the shop, you can ask me for some and I'll be happy to give you a couple to take home. So you're gonna put your hair on your mannequin head. All right, and so you're gonna take one T-pin and you're gonna put it through the ear tab, and make sure that this little pin is facing up and down and not side to side. That way it doesn't crimp or damage the hair. So you're gonna find your little ear tab right here, and you're going to put the T-pin running vertically, not horizontal, into the hair and push it all the way in like that. So I'll show you up close. So it's in all the way in. So you're gonna put one on each ear tab, and then because we're gonna be styling her in an updo today or just messing around with the hair in general, I'm going to put my third T-pin right down here at the nape of the neck. Turn my little mannequin around. I prefer to use the canvas blockhead, and we sell some really pretty floral ones in here. So you're gonna find the nape right about where the tag is, and just same thing, pin up and down right there at the nape, and that just makes your hair super secure on your mannequin head. So then you're gonna take your wide tooth comb and kind of detangle and run it through your hairs. So some basic things that you're gonna need for styling your wigs. Obviously you're gonna use your wide tooth comb. You can use a wig brush, but I only recommend using these wig brushes if you've got straight hair. If it's curly, you're only gonna wanna use the wide tooth comb. This will make the hair frizz out. A lot of times if the bristles are too close together and they're not designed to use on wigs, what happens is they pull the wig fibers and they make them get a little wild. And I can show you later in a different video how to fix those little wild hairs. So another thing you're going to need is a water bottle if you don't already have these styling products. When you're heat styling your wigs, I always recommend that you're using a heat protectant. This Restore Spray is not only a leave-in conditioner, it's heat styling protectant, and you can use it to condition your wigs. This one has a nice little citrusy scent. This is made by Hair You Wear specifically for their HD fibers. But another company that I love is this Envy Spray. I love it because it's botanically based. It has little argan oil in it. You can use it like a leave-in conditioner. It works like a detangler, and it works like a heat styling protectant, and it's safe for both synthetics and human hair and your own hair on your head if you're rotating between products. So I like to use a little bit of my heat styling spray. Just give it a quick mist, and you're gonna brush it on through. Always don't spray it directly on the head. You want to spray it down on the ends and then work it through with either your wide tooth comb or your wig brush. So some heat styling tools that I like to use. My favorite thing is probably gonna throw you off a little bit. My favorite thing to use are good old velvet hot rollers. The reason why I love using this is because I can roll up the whole entire head and then go about, you know, picking out my outfit, put on my makeup, have a cup of coffee, you know, make a phone call, do all the things. And then I just leave the rollers right on the mannequin until I'm ready to actually put my hair on. So when you take the rollers out, it has gone through the whole process of cooling down. And it's that cooling down part that really sets those curls in. And this is a great way to be quick and fast, and you can just roll it up, leave it on. And then when you take it down, you've got these beautiful curls. And I'll show you. So you can accomplish the curls with those heat rollers. So that's one way to do it. Or you can use a curling iron. If you're going to use a curling iron, this one is made for mannequin hair, so this one has the heat setting that's set for synthetics, but I prefer you to use one that has a heat style setting. So you want a temperature setting, and I like to set it around 255 to 300. Even though these wigs can go up to 350 degrees heat friendly, what happens is these other ones that don't have a heat setting tend to just keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And what happens is when this fiber gets too hot, it just falls down and it won't hold the curl, and then you end up frustrated. Now keep in mind, these heat friendly fibers, they're a little tricky. Different colors of fiber sometimes are more stubborn than others and have a hard time holding the curl. So what I like to do is when I curl it and then I leave it in the curl, and I either use a bobby pin, or if you've got those little alligator clips that you use for rollers, clip it in and then let it air cool. It's the cooling process that changes this molecular structure. So the other thing that's fun to use if you have them, obviously a flat iron, I like about the 1 inch size because I can create multiple curl patterns with this. But this is a lot of fun too. You can pick these up at Target. This one has a heat temperature setting and it locks in place, and you can also adjust the barrel size, which I think is really cool because you can get big, huge, chunky waves, or you can get small, little beachy waves. But either way, whenever you're heat styling your hairs, you want to section it out, and starting out in sections makes it go by faster. So I've got my flat iron set to 255, which is like the magic number for me. It's 255, and this is our so I have noticed that not all flat irons are created equal. I like the one with the tourmaline on the inside because sometimes the stainless steel is okay, but for whatever reason I have a hard time getting those stainless steel ones to work. So we're going to section it out, and we sprayed it with our spray. Now sometimes I need a little help, right? So if it's being really stubborn and you just can't get it to curl on its own, go ahead and get it wet with a little water. And this is the part that's really scary. People think that, oh my God, it's sizzling, I'm burning my hair. But I promise you, even if you do, bring it to me, I'll fix it. So anyway, you're just going to, don't be afraid of that sizzle. That sizzle action is changing the molecular structure. You using that steam to curl the hair. So I'll do it one more time on another piece, and then we'll move on to updo. So you're taking little tiny sections. If you do it too thick, you're not going to get the heat dispersed evenly up on the hair. You want to go small, tiny little sections about 1 inch. Takes a little longer. That's why the hot rollers are great. Hot rollers, keep in mind you want to section the hair no wider than the size roller that you're going to use, and you want to make it the same, so the same width. So if you're using the 1/2 inch, get a 1/2 inch section, and then make sure this section of the hair is no wider than the roller. That way you get a really nice even curl. So this time I'm going to curl this one with my with my curling iron. So like I said, don't be afraid of that sizzle action. What I like to do is pull a little bit of the hair, roll it up, and then I pull those ends through, and you're pulling ever so slightly, and you're gonna not let the hair fall out. So these smaller sections, it is kind of a hassle, but it's nice to have the luxury of being able to curl the hair. So you're just gonna hold it in place for a few seconds because we're not having it high heat, we're using medium heat. And this one doesn't get very hot because it's designed for other synthetic wigs that I use. So I'm probably not going to get the curl that I want. But you can just spritz it, curl, and hold it in place. And then I like to be careful when you're pulling it out because you don't want to burn yourself. And then I like to pin that curl in place so that we get a good set. Bobby pins are great to use on the wigs. Make sure your bobby pins have those little balls in place. And here's why. If you have, like Mesmerized has that hand-tied cap when we've got French lace all over the place. If you got those sharp bobby pins and you poke a hole in the cap, your wig is not going to last very long. In fact, that hole will get bigger and bigger and the hair will fall out. So you don't want to damage the cap. So now we've got our curl in place, and you can use the cold setting on your hair dryer because this is heat friendly. If you wanted to blow dry it out, you absolutely can, and it will actually make the fibers a little softer when you blow dry it. I like to use a roll brush and just smooth it out and use a medium setting, not high heat. And you can also use the hair dryer to redirect the parting. If you want to part it in a center part, or you know, far left, far right, you're gonna get it wet with your water bottle and then separate it where you want, part it where you want, and then use the hair dryer facing the direction of the part that you want to move the hair. So even the same thing, so if the hair's falling in your face and you're like, oh, I can't stand that, so you're just gonna blow it back and redirect that hair. So now we've got our nice little curl, and we're gonna style her up. So I love a top knot, or I pull my hair out of my face. Today I got myself a headband. I might regret that later because it's a lot of tension up there for me. Between a wig gripper and my headband, got my head squeezing. So if you like a lot of height or volume, you can tease it. It's okay to tease your wigs. My favorite teasing comb I got right off of Amazon. I think it was like $6. That looks pretty crazy because it's got like teeth on one side, and then it has a comb with bristles on the inside. So same thing, if you want to pull your hair up and give it a little height, you can do that. And then just bobby pin in place. Like I said, if you're going to use your bobby pins, please make sure that you're not puncturing this cap when you pin it into place. So I got a lot of ladies that wear their hair up for either church. I like to do like a little messy knot at the top. So you just kind of twist it, and then I make a little pinch with my finger, and I bring that hair through. And then you just kind of pin her in place. And you can make it as clean or as messy as you'd like it, but that's just kind of how sometimes I like to put it up in a little messy knot. Now if you want to pull your hair up a little farther, so sometimes I like to, so this requires a little imagination. So you kind of have to imagine how you're going to want to put up the hair. So what I'll do is section a little bit of this out. And then I style up the rest. So we're gonna pull it up. And unlike our normal hair where we just pull everything up, mannequin hair and wig hair, you want to pull it up in sections because you don't want to pull that cap too tight. So the other thing to keep in mind when you're putting up your wigs, it's really hard to do it on your own head, but if you're gonna do it, style it on your own head to keep it from moving around, use a chin strap, and we sell those here in the store. So we're gonna section it up. We're gonna pull her up section by section. So say you wanna go about mid-high, right? So you're just gonna pull up hair sections at a time, making sure that you've got enough hair left over to kind of loosely cover up. You know, you don't want to pull it too tight because you want to be able to cover up the cap. And then same thing for the base. You're going to pull it up, but make sure that you've got enough give that you don't see or expose the cap. So once you've got it pulled up, if you want to use a ponytail holder, you can use a ponytail holder, but I kind of like to hold it and then kind of look around and make sure you've got enough hair pulled down so that you don't see the nape or the rest of the cap. And then this, from here, you can just do, if you want to do a French twist, you can do a French twist. Keep in mind that wherever you place the hair, there's going to be more weight back there. So make sure that you've got a good wig gripper, or you've got pins in place, or some wig clips, so that you can style up your hair and not have too much weight in one section. And you just carefully bobby pin in place. Or if you want to use a cute little clip, you can definitely put a little clippy in there and just kind of have a little bit hanging out and leave a little like this. But if you have something fancy and you want to make a little chignon, you can do that. You just tuck this in and then bring this onto the side, and you can do this even lower if you want to and put some cute little pins in place. So I'm gonna keep this style that I've got going on here. If you get too much hair in your bobby pin, these wig hairs will push it out. Now, so we've got it all pinned up in place. You got this pretty little chignon. It's kind of messy. I like messy hair. So now we're gonna work on this section here. So you have a couple of options. You can braid this up and then bring it around, which I think is really pretty. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then just a real quick, braids are really easy. You're just gonna get even sections of the hair. I'm gonna leave these bangs out because we're gonna do something else with that. So just kind of even little sections and a simple braid. One section over, another section over, and just work your way down. And then I like to go back through and pull out a little bit of the hair. Kind of a little boho look. And then you got this cute little braid. You pull the pieces out and then go down and around. And then you're gonna play the tuck game. Just tuck in those extra hairs and pin them in place. And then if you feel a little pushback, it's usually because you're bumping into the cap. And of course, like I said, you want to make sure that you steer clear of puncturing the cap. So if you have some pieces that are, if you like loose tendrils, great. If those bother you, then you can pull them up a little tighter, but make sure that you're still got your cap good and covered. And just really, it's just a game of patience. And so I've got those nape pieces that are long enough that cover up the nape. And then you can use a little wig spray. So I'm just gonna tease this up a little bit and kind of smooth it out in the front. Create a little height here. And then just bring that piece on back. What I like to do is use the hair to cover up the bobby pins. So you put the bobby pin in there and then push it up underneath the hair, being very gentle and cautious with the cap. All right, so now we have a nice chic updo. Didn't take us a million years to do it. Back. So this is just a nice fun way that you can put up your hair. Ta-da! And because she's monofilament lace front temple to temple, you've got this beautiful flawless hairline that you have. And if you want to bring out pieces, you can bring out those pieces and curl them up. That's a really cute way to do it. Another way that you can style your hair is, if you're good at French braiding, it's super cute like that too. So we can take out our little bobby pins. Detangle the hair. So keep in mind, every time that you wear your wig, even if you have her up in an updo, you want to detangle it before you go to put her away for the day. That way she's fresh when you are ready to put her on. So now you've decided, hey, you know what? I have a game or something to go to, and I just kind of want a chic little sporty look to wear to the game. And braids are lots of fun. So there, I'm gonna move my tray here so we can see. Turn my mannequin head. So I'm just kind of combing the hair into place. And then we'll leave those bangs, because that bang is kind of a shorter bang. So we're just gonna section it out. And just like this. So I like to do an under braid sometimes, just because it gives like a real chunky look, and then you just bring some hair in. And then you get that, you can see your highlights really well when you do that. Also helps when you braid like this to grab all of those, because this is a layered hair style, it catches all of those little pieces that like to pop out when you're braiding. Just braid it on down, and then you have a nice little pretty braid. And so you can either just like leave it down and put on a nice little cute little hat with it, or if you want to go ahead and make a nice little bun, you can braid it on up and put it in a bun if you want to, and that's really cute too. Put it in place like that, and then you just bring these bangs back or bring them down for a sportier look. But yep, that's what you can do with your Mesmerized. And then if you're having trouble with the curls, check the heat settings, and then make sure that the hair is damp. I like either with your heat styling protectant or a little water. Good luck, guys.